Arlene, how are you doing?
Thank you. How are you?
I am good. I am good. My name is Jason Cruz. I'm calling you from Seattle, Washington, over here in the United States. Are you still in? Australia?
No,
Correct.
no, no. I'm at the Mohegan Sun.
Oh, so you're ready. You ready traveled?
Uh-huh. I've been over. I was at Albuquerque at JacksonWink for the last 2 months, so
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
am
Gotcha.
fine and I'm good to go.
Oh, excellent. So let me ask you, how has training camp been? So you've been away from your home base for a while in New Mexico. How's that been?
It's been awesome. Very, very hard. um, Definitely was put way out of my comfort zone. Every session.
I
Um, Yeah, but it was really good. I mean, this is the thing. It forced like I had to level up, and that's what I want to do. I've got the fight with Cris showed me that there's definitely levels to this game, and she's a level above the rest of the division, maybe a couple of levels. So I've got to work my ass off before that next title shot again.
I got. So was this your first camp that you spent at in New Mexico at Jackson Wink?
No. So I've been there a couple of times now. I
Okay.
was back first time I was there was in the January just after Holly beat Ronda for
Hmm.
the top. Yeah, so I went there for a month just to see how it was because I mean obviously you don't really want to go to a new camp at the start of fight camp without knowing how it all works. So I just wanted to go get a feel for the place, and I've had intentions of going back there ever since then, but I had a good team back home in Australia and with the kids and everything like that. It just didn't work out. Finances was another thing. I was still working, but I was actually in Albuquerque at the beginning of the pandemic last year, again to get our head around the Cyborg fight camp. And then the pandemic happened, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to come back to do fight camp here. So then, yeah, it's worked out this time that I was able to come back and do 2 months here and get a really good camp in.
Very good. Very good. So I know it was disappointing to lose to Cris Cyborg, but tell me what you learned from that fight.
Um, I learned a lot. It's definitely a lot. I feel like I let myself down in areas with the fight. Like, I mean, I've always been known as being an aggressive fighter, and I think I was a little bit too tactical in that fight. Cris is somebody that I think I should have put it on her a little bit at the beginning to get some respect from her. I know that there were times there that she was showing me respect, as in, she wasn't rushing in, say, like she did with the Amanda fight. She was sort of sitting back a little bit, and I was sort of even pushing her around the cage. But yeah, there's definitely things. Obviously, the ground game was something that little mistakes that I sort of made when she tagged me in the second round and my nose started bleeding. That was a new experience for me, and it was the first time in 70 fights that I've ever showed an opponent weakness. And I knew straight away I did it because the look on my face would have given away, and I remember seeing the look in her face, and straight away I just was like, oh shit, because she's do that too. She reminds me of me. If I see, like, she's like a hunter. As soon as she sees a sign of weakness, she's on you, and that's exactly what she did. It became the beginning of the end. She had me up against the cage with a barrage of punches and kicks, and I went to circle off, but then just didn't keep circling. So it's a few things that just fight IQ wise in the heat of the moment, I didn't perform well, but it's a fight game. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, no, no. And how did your background is boxing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so, how does that kind of help you, or in training for your fights? I know that you said you had a look on your face that you never had before, but when you're boxing and you know that your opponent is moved, I mean, is hurt or anything like that, are you able to gain those tells when transferring it to MMA?
Definitely. I mean, those 4 ounce gloves definitely helps the striker. I'm a hard puncher with boxing gloves on. So the beauty of that with 4 ounce gloves is that you don't even have to throw them that hard for them to really do damage. And it's from my experience, like if you're fighting, grapplers that aren't used to sort of getting punched, in my early days of MMA anyway, the playing field's pretty even now that I'm on Bellator, but, the early fighting days, if I was fighting like someone that was a jiu-jitsu technician, you hit them in the face and they freak out. Whereas, I get punched in the face and I'll grin at you and I'll punch you back.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I think being a striker too, in any position, like even when I'm on the ground, my first instinct is to want to throw. So like I'm on the ground, I'm in side control, I want to throw elbows, I want to throw punches. I'm up against a cage, I want to throw punches. It's a benefit, I think, to be a striker.
Yeah, and so how's that transference when you started doing MMA and grappling and stuff like that? And we see now, like with Clarissa Shields transferring from boxing to MMA. How is that? Do you find that easier than if you were an MMA person a jiu-jitsu person trying to go into boxing?
I mean, both ways are as hard as each other. It's just whether or not you're willing to learn. I spent a lot of my early years of MMA being a defensive wrestler. So scared of getting taken down. So, always what, if I get taken down, it's always working back to your feet, back to your strength. Even previous coaches saying you're a striker. And so it was sort of almost drummed into my head that that's where I was at. So it's only been, more so recently, these last couple of years, it's like, that you're a strong girl. Like just because the fight's on the ground doesn't mean you need to freak out and hope you get to your feet. Like, work your stuff down there. Like you do it in training. So it's almost for me, these last little bits, just changing my mentality of being so afraid to be somewhere that's not my strength. So I think that's probably the biggest thing this fight camp is just the way my coaches have worked with me being a well-rounded fighter, not just having hands, but I mean, if all else fails, we know that I've got hands.
So tell me a little bit about this upcoming fight. What do you know about your opponent, and how do you see this fight playing out?
She's a striker with a brown belt. So I haven't much. Like I'd watched the fight with her and Julia. The coaches and I did some video analysis like on her with one of her other previous fights. I think it was when she was on the Contender. But I don't tend to do, like after we got matched, I don't go, like I don't watch what she's doing, or I don't like look at videos and stuff. My coaches have come up with combinations and things that they want me to do in a fight. We've just drilled it. My teammates and I, all the guys at Jackson's and the girls at Jackson's have drilled and become a dummy version of her. And so we'll just see what happens there on Friday night. Yeah.
And so, even though your last fight in Bellator was a loss, you still were on a win streak prior to the title fight. And you did receive an extension from Bellator. So congratulations for that. What does that mean for you that that the Bellator, wants you to continue fighting for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very, very lucky to have even been given the opportunity from Bellator all those years ago. And I've said this plenty of times in the past, especially when I get asked whether or not I'll jump promotions, and there has been opportunities over the times where I've been offered opportunities. But, Bellator signed me back in 2014 with a record that was 5-4, which isn't impressive. But obviously they saw something in me and believed in me. So, I am a proud Bellator fighter, and I'm grateful that my loyalty to the promotion is also being rewarded with, the respect and them believing in me like all these years and obviously re-signing me. So, I think it's a great partnership. I love the ops team here. I love fighting for the promotion. I love how much exposure I get when I do fight. Like I think the whole partnership between us is perfect for all of us.
That's great. That's great. And so now you're in the hotel room, waiting for your fight. Aside from cutting weight and training and everything like that, what do you do in your downtime? Because it seems like I assume there's still COVID protocols that you have to do and stuff. What do you do? Do you watch TV? Do you sleep? What do you do in that downtime?
Well, after I finish my interviews here, I'm actually going to do a fake tan and do my hair to have a so I'll actually do girly things. No, but I do have a book. I bought so during fight week, I like to read like a non-fiction book.
Okay.
Usually I'm reading a lot of autobiographies and motivational books, mental coach. But I think during fight week, I like to get something that just takes my mind completely away from this. So yeah, at the moment I'm reading a book. It's one of the America's bestsellers at the moment. I don't even know what it's called. I bought it at the airport yesterday. So yeah, I like to read and just relax. I think I'm pretty active on my socials. Who am I kidding? I'm pretty active on my socials all year round, but fight week I like to post a little bit more just because it's big. I've got a lot of following in Australia. Obviously all my coaches and training partners back in Australia are following me. I now have like a big group at Jackson's that are extremely interested in what I'm doing, and especially for the up and coming fighters and stuff too, just seeing what it's like to be here for fight week and what it consists of. And I forget sometimes that, not that I think it's mundane, but the things that I take for granted because I'm so used to doing this now, but people want to see it. So I'm a little bit extra active on my socials just so I can share the experience with everybody.
Awesome. Well, Arlene, thank you for your time. Good luck on Friday. I appreciate you chiming in here, and have fun the rest of the week.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one. All right. Thank you very much, Arlene. Have a good day.